And here we go. Welcome everybody to another exciting matchup of the Legend of Zelda Randomizer Tournament for 2022. We have a matchup of two of the biggest legends of Zelda 1 speedrunning and randomizer racing in a head-to-head of 3-1 contestants, cantaloupeme and RandomEffekt. And ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be quite the matchup indeed. I'm James, I go by JSR. With me tonight is my good friend Redbird Grad. And Redbird, this is going to be a matchup for the ages, my friend.
Yo, what's up, dude? And I am so glad you used the word legend many times because both these guys fit on that list, right? These guys are phenomenal vanilla runners in their own, and they will beat the pants off you in rando. So this is going to be a wonderful matchup, JSR.
We got 2, 3, and 1 contestants. Of course, as we mentioned, great at randomizer, but both of these runners have some of the top times in the vanilla game as well. RandomEffekt has done very well in past tournaments, whereas cantaloupeme, the second ever 28. This is going to be a skill set that is going to be head-to-head in a tremendous matchup that has just begun, and we have a vanilla 3 check, which is level 7. Interesting. Random's going in.
Yeah, I think he's looking for, I mean, we're in the southwest, so I think he's going to look for like an early bomb pack or something, just so he doesn't have to check the southwest twice. There's that one little offset, and unfortunately does not get it because they see a Gliok.
Still good to find one of those, of course, in this flag set, and I know a lot of the viewers who've been following the tournament are probably sick of hearing this. We find level 2 at the potion shop near start. This flag set does have at least one guaranteed block. This block will be either a power bracelet block, raft block, or recorder block, and at least one dungeon or the white sword item will be blocked by it.
Yeah, it makes it interesting. You don't just need the bow and silvers here. You actually need one of the other kind of secondary items to get through the seed. So you'll see a little more dig and a little more combat. We've turned the all bosses flag on too, so it's going to be a whole lot of fun inside these levels.
And we have quite the sync going on. Both runners basically checking the same pretty logical route here. They're going to be looking for this Armos item. At the beginning of the seed, you're really kind of looking for either the white sword item, the Armos item, or the wooden sword. Something to give yourself some combat so you can start exploring this world a little bit. And the Armos shows us the bow.
Man, I don't think he got it there. I think he actually died right before Fappy did, but man, that's the bow is nice, right? Because you know it's going to be outside of 9, but as soon as you find arrows, you can pick up arrows. You've got 2 points of combat damage right off the bat. So the bow is a great find as an Armos item.
Yeah, and just like you mentioned a few moments ago, boss flags are on, so we have way more bosses. The odds of them finding Gomas in these dungeons goes way up with this flag set, not to mention Pole's Voice, and just in general having a weapon that's strong. I mean, even if it only counts as white sword item damage, I mean, you'll take that against Lionels, likes, and all kinds of enemies like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, Pole's Voice are the biggest one there, right? They're the biggest time waster on wood sword, so having that in there is just such a huge advantage to be able to clean up those rooms.
Yeah, both these runners now going to be looking for arrow shops alongside of it as RandomEffekt finds the sword really close to where its vanilla location is. Actually, it is vanilla. Never mind.
It's super close, KSR.
Yeah, super close. And it's short time advantage here. He's going to look for a bomb drop off of this blue moblin. The very first enemy you kill will have a shot, and he gets his bomb, so he's going to be able to explore a bit around start.
Yeah, that's great. You always want that bomb pack. Hopefully, Cantaloupe gets the same thing. You never want an advantage like that in exploration to be just because of luck, so hopefully he gets his as well.
Money, of course, going to be a big issue. There's also the leave your money or life rooms. Of course, those have been shuffled. They can also hold keys or bombs as well. But you definitely don't want to give up hearts early game, even though Random is going to give one up here to pick up this candle, and that is a wise choice in my opinion.
Yeah, you want the candle, especially because he's heading towards the forest area, so he wants that exploration area. You never want to go in the overworld screens twice. You don't want to walk the overworld a second time. It just takes you so much longer, so picking up that candle is a wise move.
We do finally have a little bit of a route deviation as we see Cantaloupe going into level 2. We did see Random dip in here really, really quickly, but he's going to do more overworld exploration. And Redbird, your thoughts on the differences in strategies here?
I like this because 2's a small dungeon. A lot of times you can even pick up the item without even doing the combat. You're going to get an early map like this. You're going to get a lot out of this, especially because he got that early bomb pack too. So I don't blame Cantaloupe at all for being inside of level 2.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. I mean, I'm big on overworld exploration as well, but you never know. And I mean, he's going to find keys. He already got a bomb off of that Manhandla boss, our first boss of the seed that we've seen. And he's going to immediately be stopped and up A as he finds a ladder block.
Yeah, That stinks for him. I mean, it was a good decision, I think, to go ahead and go in. A random, what he's probably thinking is, let me do the overworld. Let me see if I find level 1. Let me get some hearts under me, and then I can always up A because that level's so close to where we start. I can go attack that at any time. Let me do some overworld exploration.
Of course, that knowledge could come in handy if the ladder ends up buried somewhere. Of course, Random won't be in there very long, as he finds that ladder block pretty early on into. So now, really, what are we looking for outside of the dungeons here? I mean, is there a particular dungeon we're looking for outside of the white sword item and the Armos? If you were in this particular race, what would your strategy be right now?
I'd be uncovering as much as Random is doing. I'd be uncovering as many levels as I can. If you find 5, 6, 7, 8, I don't think you're going to walk through them yet on Wood Sword 3 Hearts. So he's looking for level 1, level 3. He's already seen 2. Those are going to be 2 very small dungeons. But other than that, he is looking for that White Sword item because that's going to be very helpful inside of the dungeons.
I haven't seen too many secrets yet. We've seen a couple door repairs, and there's our first mid, and it rolled up 10. That's very nice.
Yeah, that's really good. What that tells them is they're going to be able to buy bombs whenever they want to. They're going to be able to buy the arrows right away, meat and stuff like that. You get 8 of those. So having those roll up 10, that's $240 you're going to get in the overworld without the big secrets.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love those 140 large secrets, but there's only 3 of those. Having those mid secrets and those small secrets roll up as the vanilla small secret and the big secret rolled down to 74. But that's still, with the large secret, the mid secret being 10 rupees over, you're still going to have a lot of money in this seed.
Yeah, I mean, you're getting 240 from the mediums, you're getting 210 from the big, so I mean, that's right there, 450 rupees you're going to have for this seed. That's plenty of money to go around, these guys know it.
Now, both runners have a little cash in their pocket, they both have a sword, and another route deviation. We're going to check out the coast here by Cantaloupe. And Random headed over towards the area of the forest that has a lot of these burn bushes. And I've noticed in this flags, this could just be totally my own, coincidental experience, but it does seem like levels tend to cluster in areas of the map. Is that what you found in your practice, in your experience, or is that just...
Absolutely. I find, within 8, 9 screens of each other, you'll find 3 or 4 dungeons just kind of in a little pack like that, but clustered for sure.
Magical sword sitting on that final bush in the south area of the woods, and Cantaloupe finds our second take anyone you like screen, takes a heart. Now both runners have 4. Of course, we have not seen the white sword item yet, and it could be anything in this flag set. And early on, you'll take anything you can get.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to do a lot of this, just kind of doing the forest, burning through the forest, all the exploration here. You got to do it every seed, and they're kind of going through the same route right now, JSR.
Yeah, kind of just exploring the same areas, just at different times. We have seen a few of the enemies, specifically the keys rolled up. In this flag set, the enemies can roll up or down 2 HP from their vanilla stats, which can make some enemies very squishy. And then others, like these moblins, didn't die in 1 sword hit.
No, and I haven't seen whiz robes yet in the overworld, so we'll probably have them underneath. We don't have dark nuts because we saw those over by the level 3 area, so I like to, as I'm walking through here, kind of take note of what enemies are out here, because that'll help me know kind of what way I'm going to have to attack the dungeons, what I'm going to need when I get inside there.
Cantaloupe finds level 4 under the burn bush. That holds vanilla level 8, and then Random finds a bomb shop, and that is gross, Redbird.
It is gross, but you know what? That key was very tempting. I would have done the same thing. I think he wants to hold the money just for a little bit longer in case he needs to buy some bombs later with that bomb price. Man, that was yikes.
Speaking of
Anything
bombs,
over
we have our
30.
first troll dongos.
Yeah, I love it.
It's so good, dude.
Did you design that? I mean, you're a good artist.
No,
Was that you?
not.
Oh, okay.
No push block there, so he's gonna have to find the bomb hole. Finds it. Random hot on his heels, and we're looking for 1 item in this level 4. Lots of dodongos, so these runners are gonna have plenty of bombs to work with.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to refill on these triple packs, as long as you know how to fight them, and of course, Cantaloupe and Random both do. There's a key again.
Chat telling us that Dragon Dart made the Troll Dongo sprite as well. Really well done. It's very, very funny. I love seeing, that's one of my favorite things about the randomizer tournaments, Redbird, is you get to see so many different variations of sprite sets. You see a lot of really cool ones, Legacy the Wizard, the Trogdor, all kinds of cool ones.
We even got the Bo Jackson, right? Liquid Husband's playing tonight. The Bo Jackson's one of my favorites. Just watching him walk around the overworld. Great. Yeah, we've got a very talented community, man. Absolutely. So RE and Cantaloupe in the same exact room. Cantaloupe's hoping this is a push block to find the item. Random was not able to. Finds a T room. We got a lot of ladder blocks here, man.
What do you think? I'm starting to smell maybe a white sword ladder, perhaps? Or maybe level 1 holds it? And it's too early to tell yet.
Yeah, level 2 and 4 both look like they're kind of ladder block. Getting a little bit west of that, though, right now for RandomEffekt, so this might be promising over here.
Beefy Lambos. That's not good.
No. Just kill one and bounce, because use that door trick all the time.
Yeah, they're scarier than they look. They don't move very fast. They look kind of lumbering, but they do 2 hearts of damage at your vanilla tunic, so... 2 hugs from them and you're done.
Like, once they get on top of you, JSR, they double back so quick, they'll do 4 right away.
They seem like they read your inputs. Like, I really believe they do.
For sure.
Cantaloupe be hot on his tail here as Random went up. Let's see if Cantaloupe follows. Random gets a key for his trouble. And...
wondering where this map is going to be. We're pretty far from start, and usually that map's pretty early on.
I was going to say, level 4 is one of the few levels, and I might be mistaken on this, but it's one of the ones where you don't necessarily have to find a bomb hole, correct?
I think it's 1 through 4, yeah. Maybe 1 through 3, but I think 4. I think you're right.
Yeah, I always forget about 4. 4 is like that weird one. It's like it almost feels like a small dungeon, and then you get here, and it never is as small as you expect. You're like, oh, man. And then you go back and look at the vanilla map. Oh, man.
Look at that room.
Oh, Random said nope.
And I don't blame him. Out. You know where the map is, right? The map's through that locked door below him.
Oh,
it's 1 room away. He doesn't want to use the key, though. And I wouldn't either.
It's kind of those darned if you do, darned if you don't situations, because if you go and clear it, even if you're very skilled at this game, both runners are, you're not necessarily going to be rewarded for your trouble, and it could take you forever.
Right.
And yet, at the same time, behind that door, you know, you never know what could be back there.
This might be a death right here. Oh! He's bounced too.
Cantaloupe with the trigger reflexes was able to avoid damage there, but he's going back in. He's going for it.
So you know what Random could do? I don't know. Was that? Let's see what Cantaloupe does. Random has to find a door that closes behind him that pops open after combat, and then he can up A, and that door below at start will be opened again. So you can use that trick. But I haven't seen a door like that on his side. Oh, man.
So close.
That was close.
It'll be interesting to see if Cantaloupe returns, and there's our item.
Raft. That's kind of the 3 item exploration or overworld exploration things that you can get, that's the one you don't want to see first.
Well, it's kind of a bummer. It's kind of a bummer because it only really checks 2 places, and even though the recorder only checks 1, it allows you to warp around the map, so it has a second benefit. Plus, it can take out the dig doggers, and the 2 raft spots are literally on the other side of the world from each other. So it's kind of like, oh, do I check this now or do I just put it in my pocket? Random finds level 3 right near 4.
Yeah, there's these clusters. 3 and 4 are together, 2 and 7 were together. Just like you said, they're all seemingly like right on top of each other.
Cantaloupe now finds that same T room that Random found earlier. It looks like he's gearing up for one more shot at this, maybe.
I think he was looking for a hard or looking for fill up his bomb pack to 8. He wants to. Has he gone west yet? Maybe he hasn't gone west. He wants to do that first. Because he didn't find the item room yet.
Meanwhile, Random going through this level 3, it almost looks like Vanilla 3, except for the Doma block.
I mean, we got the bow. We just got to find an arrow shop. This is what you're talking about before, right? Just do a little overworld, get some shopping done and stuff. So you get inside of here and you get, oh man, now you got Patras. Yikes.
Yeah, luckily 3 and 2 both relatively small. I do think you'll see Random at least make an effort here, although he's got to be careful. These Gomas hit hard.
You take a fireball to the face and that's death. That's not the item room because we got a shutter door on the right. So that's what he did at Yup Aid there because it was too much combat for no payoff there. All he was going to be able to do is pop that door open. So that's why he Yup Aid there.
Meanwhile, Cantaloupe attempted and unfortunately did take another Lambo hug. He's going to bail and come back later. But Random finds an arrow shop, and I bet you, Redbird, he's going right back to 3.
Guarantee he's going right back there. I mean, it makes a lot of sense for him to do that. All right, here's your coast item. Well, that's a bummer.
I think I saw it. It was a white sword, right?
Yeah, it was a white sword, so once we find the ladder, we're going to be able to do more inside the dungeons, but, I mean, white sword's nice on the coast. The problem is, a lot of their levels have been on the west side of the world and everything, and once they get done with the east side, do you really want to go back just for the white sword? We'll see what they do later in the seed, but it's not really what you want to see right there.
Well, perhaps we're still kind of looking for our any roads. We haven't seen any of those yet, so perhaps they'll take them back over to this area from the start location, but too early to tell. Cantaloupeme does join random in level 3. He's going to find those Goma blocks. Hopefully he goes one screen east and finds those arrows as well.
Yeah, it's the next natural trek, so you'll probably see the exact same thing that Random saw. He's going to see 6 or 7 of these rooms, see a bunch of Gomas, bounce out, and then come back in. So you should see him trail Random just for a little bit here.
It makes quick work of that Goma. Meanwhile, Cantaloupe headed around the same corner. Looked like he was building a count there for a second. Not quite sure yet.
This is interesting. Agent over there taking shots at me, man. You gotta defend me a little better. It's bogus, dude. We share a mic, man. We're a team.
Hey, I will get you the nicest cap to help out.
The nicest cap, appreciate it. Oh, Cantaloupe. All right, so he's gonna up A here. He's gonna bounce out. Maybe? Maybe he's like just reading a book inside that door.
Well, he doesn't know that that arrow shop is one screen away.
Right.
And if I'm in this boat, I'm probably going to exhaust every possible option before I bail because it is level 3 and it's early.
Yeah.
And at this point in the seed, other than the free bow that they found, they haven't found anything yet. So, I mean, raft, which we don't know if it's useful or not, and Cantaloupe did not find said raft. So he's probably kind of getting a little bit of anxious. He wants to find something, right?
He does, absolutely. If you haven't found any items yet, you're sitting at 15 minutes playing somebody as good as RandomEffekt. I mean, Cantaloupe's good in his own right, too, but you're playing somebody you know is very good. You're starting to itch that you've got to find something you're seeing. Random with really good work here, knowing how to just attack these guys from the half tiles on the right or on the bottom. Rewarded with? Okay.
That makes the sting of the raft a little bit less, I think.
It does. It does. I mean, the power bracelet's the granddaddy of all the exploration that you wanted, but this is good. One, because you're going to be able to knock out any of the dig doggers that we find, and now we also have the bow and arrows to knock out the Gomas. So a lot of the bosses we can take care of inside the dungeons too.
Meanwhile, Cantaloupeme does purchase those arrows and jumps right back in, kind of like you said, following the same footsteps as Random. He does have a little bit of the exploration knowledge advantage from level 2, but kind of playing catch up from those attempts to go back into level 4 earlier.
Yeah, so if you're a newer runner, take a look at what Random just did there. He had a Patra, which he could have killed. It would have taken him a lot, but he's skilled enough he could have taken down that Patra with wood sword. Instead, what he said was, I've got one more room past that. That room could either be the Triforce or the compass to point me away from that room, or back to it to guarantee that I had to fight it. So let me go to the next room, check that first, and then come back. So it's very heads up by RandomEffekt.
A large secret from Random as Cantaloupeme makes his way through 3. He's going to find his recorder soon enough. If he can handle this Patra, he can take one bot from it. He should be okay.
Yeah, he should be fine. Unless you get in a hurry. A lot of times with the wood sword, you get in a hurry because you feel like, oh my god, one of these eyes should definitely be dead by now.
Very nice price on the bait there, 49 rupees. So if we've run into any bait blocks, it shouldn't be too much of an issue.
Yeah, unfortunately for Random, he had to give up about $50 inside of that mugger room. So he's got to watch his money a little bit because he's going to let these arrows fly in this combat inside and outside of dungeons right now.
It really comes in handy, especially in the overworld with this particular mix of enemies. And Random goes to the dock and finds $40.
$40. Worth the raft? What do you think?
I mean, it softens the blow a bit. I mean, especially if the other dock has a level or the white sword item, which we haven't seen yet. It could be there.
It definitely could. So he's going to get his... Cantaloupe's going to get his recorder as well. You like seeing this, right? Like, early on, you want things to be very close. Nobody gets some huge advantage or something and they're chasing the entire time. This is going to be very close all the way through.
I think if you gave me 3 items that I could pick, either ones, you know, whatever 3 items I would find first. I either want a combat advantage, red ring, white sword, silver arrows, bow, something like that. or give me the exploration advantage. Give me any key and 2 of those items, the bow, or excuse me, the raft, the recorder, or the power bracelet. Like, let me move. I want to get that momentum going.
Right, I'm 100% with you. I think any key is one of the strongest items in the game as far as getting it early in the seed. So I'm 100% with you. Let me be able to just maneuver inside the dungeons, or like you said, power bracelet for Overworld.
Yeah, also the book is very underrated in this flag set. It saved my bacon last night. It's been a very useful item in this particular flag set.
Yeah, I think that ever since Fred changed the algorithm on how everything's kind of set up with the dungeons and 6, 7, and 8, or sorry, 7, 8, and 9 all sharing, and then the dungeons kind of, you see, I think, weirder shapes in 2, 3, 4, those middle levels, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so having that negative space known is so important because now you're not bombing just air.
Oof, that was a hefty fee from the door repair, at least 21 rupees, and whatever he lost before he exited the cave. So it's a big penalty there.
Yeah, for sure. And finding those, like, the order that you find the money and the door repairs matters in an overworld. Like, you don't think about that a lot, right? Just somebody goes east first, somebody goes west, and they end up with like 500 rupees difference because of how they did it. Like, it's a big deal a lot of times.
Speaking of any key and the white sword item, RandomEffekt pulls it out of the northeast corner, and keys become nothing but a thing for RandomEffekt for the rest of this race.
Poke it into existence, JSR.
So that's going to basically allow full exploration of every dungeon, which helps a lot because the mini-map in The Legend of Zelda doesn't show doorways if there's shutters or key doors. And I find that having the any key, if you open doors as you go, it can help if you get lost or need to backtrack.
Yeah, for sure. And I see you doing that a lot. You'll see a stairway or something, and not just you. I mean, a lot of people do that, but they'll pop the door before they go in the stair, just so on that mini map, like you said, when they pause it just to see where they've been, they see that line instead of just a straight edge and not knowing if they can go that way.
Cantaloupeme going to be getting his any key very shortly as Random goes to Vanilla 5 and finds the potion shop, and it's a very nice price for the red potion, only 8 rupees over blue, and Random's going to go ahead and buy one. Not a bad choice.
Not bad at all. And I want to show everybody something real quick. Look on RandomEffekt's screen. You see these blue things he's getting ready to traverse up and down? Are those stairs? Or is it a ladder?
Those are not ladders. Those are not...
I mean, I really want to know because this is a hot topic. We've debated it much before, JSR, me and you.
Meanwhile, Cantaloupeme found that money-making game, and he played it, and he won 55 rupees, and instantly gets his total kind of close to where Random was. So he may buy the... Oh no, he skipped the letter, didn't he?
Yeah, he skipped it. Unfortunately for Cantaloupe, the biggest thing right there is he saw the any key, but he's still on 3 hearts. He didn't get the heart out of 4, and he didn't get the heart out of 3. There was some combat involved on that. He just went a little different way. So got the Triforce faster, but not having that heart that Random did means that he does not have his any key yet.
Yeah, good call. And that's gonna be a little bit of an inconvenience for him. He'll have to come back and get it later. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, he will for sure. Especially like you said, if we see some good, what are they called? The take any roads? Any roads? See some good ones of those, we can go back.
I don't think we've seen any of those yet, and Chat was mentioning that we saw 9. I didn't see it. Did we see 9, Redbird?
I did not see 9.
I think if we did, we're going to see it very shortly on Cantaloupeme's side. Let's take a look as he approaches the Vanilla White Sword waterfall area.
Oh, he said the waterfall. Yeah, somebody just said the waterfall, so it might be right here, if he can get through these guys. These guys do 2 points of damage. There is 9 right there. That's kind of an out-of-the-way location. I hate anything up in this area that you can't finish right away.
Oh, it's the worst, especially when it's surrounded by blue dark nuts and you've got to go check this waterfall screen and you're down to a half a heart. It's fun.
Yeah, 100%. He's going to switch over to arrows, I think, too, as soon as he sees what's up here, because getting through these guys with just sword is rough. Yeah, there you go.
And I'm going to utilize that. Oh, he gets Y-Force. The arrows backfire. What do you think, Redbird? Is he diving back in?
He's out. I think with what he's got the recorder, so I think this is one that you can leave right now and not have to go back in. He is going to, though, which is kind of surprising. Without having the book, no map yet in 5, he's going to go ahead and do it.
He's probably also thinking that, you know, that white sword's on the coast, and he hasn't found the power bracelet yet, and the dock and the recorder. he's already checked 2 of the 3 potential spots. I don't know if he checked Vanilla 4 yet, but the recorder, of course, coming through, and luckily for Cantaloupe, he did pick that up, so he'll be able to find this dungeon as well.
Might be rewarded right here. No, this is just the transport. The other thing, too, that's nice is because you have the any key, like, he was just clearing these first couple rooms trying to find the map, which he did. Because you have the any key, you can just tackle the rooms that might be stairway rooms, which is so nice for somebody like RandomEffekt. He can dodge a lot of combat and just have to do it where it is. Cantaloupe does not get Y-Force. He's going to follow RandomEffekt through here, but I think that's why Random decided to go ahead and go through it, because he's already got that key. You don't have to budget them. Like, if you're sitting on 2 keys, do you come back in here with the Triforce already? Probably not. But with the any key, that means he does not have to do any rooms that do not require pushing a block.
Random does find a push block here, and it's another staircase. He's going to skip that one for now. I wouldn't be surprised if Cantaloupe does spend all of his keys, because he's only going to need to grab a couple heart containers to go back, and I think we've only seen 2 of the Overworld hearts, correct?
Yep, just 2. I actually have my Z helper up, and I haven't clicked it yet, so it's pretty impressive 25 minutes in.
Goma trolling him a little bit, but he's still in there.
Got 129 more shots. He's good. 127. Get a little worried now. 127 is a little low.
He really likes all kinds of music, Redbird. What do you think Dig Dogger's listening to before you bust in there?
Not Will Smith this week.
I always thought Will Smith's music slapped.
Oh, shoot. All right, let's find this item in here. I like Will Smith. Miami is a very underrated song, by the way. This thing is going to be under the G, I guarantee it. And he's going to like last clear that room.
It looks like both runners making the same play, though, so neither one knows it yet. But if this item ends up being a good item, obviously we've got a great race on our hands. And if it ends up being a troll, we're going to probably... They're going to be not liking life, but I'm kind of liking that. I'm liking that they're both taking this gamble.
I like this, and like I said about level 3, I like that they're both in the same levels at the same time. Like, this is the race that I wanted. I didn't want somebody to, like, come out with silvers 15 minutes in or whatever. These two are so close to each other in everything. And Vanilla and Rando, right now they're both 3 and 1. I mean, they're just so equally paired that you wanted a race that's going to come down to 9 at the end.
Yeah, and the only real disadvantage that's given Cantaloupe a little bit of a deficit here is the wrap, which proved to be useless, and the any key, which he's going to have shortly anyways. Random does find the item. Did he find the item?
He found it and he bounced it with the blue boomerang. He said he does not want that. He just saved. Said, I don't even want to walk out of this dungeon. I'm closer to 2. He was so mad. I get it, dude. I'm 100% with him.
That was so fast. He was in there, and then all of a sudden he was back in the overworld. I didn't see what happened.
I mean, when you're disgusted by something, you just want no part of it. Man, it's a bummer that Cantaloupe had to up A here. So he's going to take this transport. It's probably going to take him to the top right, I think. I don't know where this goes, actually. Because we never followed it through, but it's got to be up. Yeah, top right had to be it. So now he's just got to find that room that Random was in.
Speaking of Random, he's going to find that ladder block if he hasn't already, and he's going to up A. So, very close race here. Really, the any key, the only difference, to be honest, and the hearts.
Yeah. I don't think Random likes the foyers of levels because he keeps skipping them. Up A save, up A save. He's got something against him.
And Lomine does grab his Triforce out of 5, evening the score in that department. Random's going to dip back into level 7. Your thoughts, Redbird?
You know what? I like it. I like the play because it's a known level for him, like it's a known location. He doesn't want to go through, all right, we're 28 minutes in, I got 2 Triforces, I'm still looking for probably ladder, probably power bracelet at this point. There's items here that can help me, even if 7's a miss, it's not the silvers or anything. Whatever's in 7 can probably help. I like digging it.
Question in chat, how many hearts did the White Sword take? RandomEffekt had 5 when he got the any key, so it's at least 5, or at least 4. No more than 5.
Yeah, Cantaloupe with 4 keys is not even going to make it a priority right now. There's no reason to go back up there, but I bet he can get it on 4. 50-50.
I like those odds. I'll take them.
Oh, for sure.
I'm the
It's
kind
not
of dummy
worth-
that will beeline to the magical sword with 10 hearts when I have white sword and I'm like on the way to 9. I'm that guy.
You will do that?
Sometimes
I'm taking notes for when I
sometimes
race.
Ooh, this room's fun. Random has to dodge through. He doesn't have enough health to survive a few bops, but with this 7, you never know. 7 can be large. It depends on the size of level 8, whether or not 7 is large or not. We haven't seen 8 yet, so you don't know what he's dealing with here.
This looks on the larger side just because that bulk area up there is 3x3 wide already, and then we still have the southwest to explore too. There's the Triforce. He's passing that up too. All right, so Random is if he's doing this right now, he is consciously making an effort of pulling every single item out of every single dungeon here until he finds everything he needs. So he's not going to be gambling at all this seed. That's exactly, by looking at this play right here, that tells you the rest of the seed for him.
The way the seed has been playing out so far, that could be the right decision here. It just depends on how this goes. Now, Cantaloupeme did find 8 in the graveyard. So it's really going to come down to which of these dungeons has that item. This could be where we see one of these runners pull away. Or we could find 2 bananas and a heart container. You never know.
Right. And I like the fact that since they've already seen a bad item once, they've seen the blue boomerang in, 5 just now? So seeing that says, okay, if I miss twice in 8, I'm probably going to miss into something good. So this is definitely a full dig, full early play for Cantaloupe, and I like it a lot.
RandomEffekt, unfortunately, does take a death to those Bluegarias. He's going to head back that way. Cantaloupeme making very good use of that bow and arrow, and once again, that bow and arrow is very useful in the early going of these seeds. And then he bombs the likes. Interesting. I wonder if he had a count going and knew it.
That's what I was thinking. I wonder if he's on a count. He knew the count. He was just softening him up with the arrows so he could do it. These guys definitely rolled up. And some more bombs, so he's rewarded for it. So let's see if he pops a bomb, like you said. Off the first enemy. Thank God we got arrows, man. Gomas are all over. He popped a bomb off that Goma.
Yeah, that was really nice. Really well done by Cantaloupeme there. He didn't need the bombs, but that's one of the strategies that if you're also new to Randomizer, you might want to learn to keep that count going when your bombs start getting low, because it's really easy to just start dropping bombs on those walls, and the next thing you know, you're down to your last bomb and you're trapped and you need to bomb a wall and you've got 2 walls to bomb, and it's like, I should have been counting.
Yeah, 100%. It might take you another 30 seconds to get through an area by counting and forcing bombs and whatnot, but tell them how long it takes, JSR, if you don't have bombs in, the back half of a dungeon.
I hope you mark the bomb shop.
Absolutely. I mean, you're good a couple minutes problem there, you know?
Random does take the staircase, doesn't pop the door open, takes the left side where the Triforce is. I wonder if he's going to grab it and bail. No!
Yeah, no, he's in this, man. I think that he has fully made it a point in his mind that whatever dungeon I come across right now, I'm going to pull every item out of these things until I know I'm in go mode.
Yeah, I think you might be onto something there, as he's returning close to the scene of the crime of his last demise. Past this patcher, there was a room full of Bluegarias. I think it might have been around here somewhere. It might be this one. Meanwhile, Cantaloupeme finds a block room, and it does not push. Still going to keep going.
What's really interesting on Random side, and I was just thinking about this more, is he's got the recorder, right? We had an early Triforce in a bigger dungeon. This might be one that, and you're so close to the start. There's the heart container for Cantaloupe, so we missed once.
I did not commentate curses. I swear there's not going to be boomerangs.
The next one's just the wooden boomerang and this is nothing. RandomEffekt's going to dig this for the red candle. These guys are going to get nowhere in this seed due to you for the next 5 minutes.
And Cantaloupeme almost up 8, but he's going to keep digging.
He's done so much of this now, you almost have to.
Yeah,
Really
I like to kind of see how the 8 is playing out. That kind of is my philosophy with most dungeons. If there's only a few rooms left and it's a big dungeon, yeah, I'll full clear it. I mean, why not, right? Or if I get the Triforce in the 3rd room.
I was really interested to see what that room on the left of there was, because he had that open. It's kind of like a little pocket. He's really linear inside this A. He's drawn a lot of big lines, but not really filled the middle of them. And I think that room on the left was kind of a key room that he needs to get back to.
Now, I didn't notice what happened to Random. Random did go back and grab his Triforce. Do you think he found a ladder block, perhaps?
Could have found that. He could have just been frustrated, no book, no anything, and he might be thinking, oh, you know what, I do have the recorder. It's something that you forget about when you get early on, especially if you haven't fought a lot of dig doggers. You might be thinking, all right, I did enough of this, I'll come back if I need to, and there's only probably a handful of rooms anyway.
Very nicely done by cantaloupeme. This is a very difficult room to fight a Patra in, and he did not take damage once.
It really is. Because you're trying to find just a good way to attack them, and the eyes are always three squares away from the middle, so depending on where that middle is, trying to fight them from the river room is very difficult. He's trying to clip in there to get those bombs. He doesn't need them.
Very good veteran move by cantaloupeme. He got trapped in that ladder-blocked room and decided instead of taking the up A, he was going to give it a shot to clear it, and he was able to do so. Keeps his ability to continue to explore this 8 without having to backtrack through it.
Yeah, he's very far into it. He does not want to take a death or an up A right now. Man, there's his compass. Did he already know that? Oh, he's looking on his map. Yeah, I think like the middle of this, like under the G and under the E, like 3 or 4 rooms down, I don't think we've kind of filled that part out yet. That's where I really want to see.
Meanwhile, Random finds the same level 8 is going to go in as well, so unfortunately a lot of bomb holes in this dungeon, and he's down to 1 bomb, so he's going to have to be very careful not to run out.
This room means nothing to Cantaloupe because he's got the compass. That was really a helpful find for him because it saved him a lot of combat. This is kind of the area that I wanted to explore right in here around the Triforce. Like go down, go south a little bit. And I think that's what Cantaloupe's going to do, unless he's just going to book it out of here. But man, he's got 1 item. It's tough to leave here without the other one. Yeah, he's going to go down and just check. Man, nothing.
Looks like he's making a move towards that Triforce. He may grab it and bail. Just like 2 rooms to the right there. There's just like a little bit more that I would want to look at, but I don't blame him one bit because he's kind of put a lot of time into this 8. One thing I did notice just now, I didn't even realize it till just now, is that cantaloupeme does not have select swap on. He has select as pause on. I believe RandomEffekt plays with select swap, so an interesting potential sighting of some pause strats here on Cantaloupe's side.
Yeah, so a little faster on combat on the offense for Random, but a whole lot more defense for Cantaloupe. He can get himself out of some sticky situations. So, personal preference. I mean, everybody's played either way. I think Saber made the pause strats the most famous, but a lot of runners run with them.
Cantaloupe headed towards Death Mountain. We may see our first dig of Death Mountain. We are still missing a few of the dungeons.
We need 6, right? 6 and 1 are the 2 biggest ones. One of them is going to be blocked because we know what the white sword item is, so it has to be a dungeon that's blocked. You really hope
I sell tools.
Yeah. And again, Cantaloupe on 3 keys can do enough exploration inside of dungeons that he doesn't have to go all the way to the east side to go grab that Andy key first. He can kind of finish up this overworld routing, then go back there if he needs to.
Yeah, I kind of like the play too. Just routing in Randomizer is kind of done on the fly, but it's something that if you develop the skill to be able to do so, you can really make your overworld travel efficient.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. Oh, 5 was recorder block. Never mind, you're right. 100%. I forgot that was in Recorder Lake. So, we really want to find level 1 up here somewhere in Death Mountain.
Yeah, they do not want to find out that level 1 is a bracelet block dungeon, and that bracelet's either deep in level 8, or I believe we didn't see the item out of 6 or 7 yet.
Yeah, that's the fear is that we
still
still
have... 7 was the boomerang, that's right.
5 was the boomerang. No, 5 was the boomerang.
Okay.
Random started to go through 7. There's 6, which we wanted to find 1 first, but he's not going to leave here because if this is the only level up here, then he's got to come back.
Yeah, I think if I'm Cantaloupeme here, I'm going to dig this out too.
Bow being the Armos item, and we've seen 15 million. Good God, dude.
Luckily, they have a lot of money. Those secrets rolled up, and
right.
It's been really nice.
Okay, early item right here. Let's go. Let's help these guys out right now. Boom. You're looking at that clock, JSR, 38 minutes. You got 2 Triforces or 3 Triforces right now. That's a little concerning, right?
Especially if this is like a 4-room ladder right here, and some runners will go to Death Mountain and kind of metagame as like, that's my play, that's my thing, and if the Death Mountain is the key to the seed, I can win. And there's the boomerang, and he did not grab it. I'm shocked.
You know what that means? 7 and 8 have something good.
Yeah, it's going to be, unless level 1 is on Death Mountain, I think you're right.
Yeah. I'm thinking 7 or 8. Like they either just turned away like the silvers or the book or the red ring or something very, very helpful out of those 2 levels. We've already seen the coast heart. I mean, we've seen all the bummer items, right? Like the raft and all those things. They're gone. He can leave this 6 now. He's seen everything. That was the fastest 6 that that was fantastic for Cantaloupe. That's everything that he wanted out of that 6.
Yeah, especially right now, that's going to give him that knowledge that's going to allow him to make his mind up on what he wants to do here. Do you want to continue digging for 1, or do you want to beeline back to one of the dungeons you haven't seen the item in yet? And he has not seen the item in 7, and he did grab the heart container in 8, which gave him the 6 that he needs. So he's going to get his any key eventually.
Well, it's one of those things, too, that kind of calms your heart rate down. Like, you're getting a little nervous, and then all of a sudden you have, like, a quick 6. And you're like, okay, I'm on 4 Triforces now. I've got 6 and 8 done. 7's by start. You know, this thing's starting to wrap up a little quicker. He's going to slow down a little bit, I think, now. And, like, okay, let's be calm. Let's do this the right way. It's going to be... I think that was a very good 6. Very good mentally for him, too.
Yeah, unfortunately, he did have a count going there. Did get bopped by an arrow, but luckily got a bomb drop off those moblins, so he's back to 8. And I think he's going to head towards the Nella 9 section of Eastern Death Mountain. As Random doing a very good job in his own right on this Patra. Down to 3 hearts. He can take a bop. Very nicely done.
Good spacing there. Like we said before, it's always 3 tiles away. So as long as you see the blue, no matter what the rotation of Patra is, it's always going to be 3 squares away, and that's how you can kind of keep your distance from him. But Random's a pro. He doesn't even have to think about that. He just naturally fights him.
And for his trouble, he gets nothing. He loses. Good day, sir. Big shout out to RandomEffekt, his little soundbite that he has in his splits. He's going to take out this Goma. This could be a drop room. I don't think he's seen the Triforce yet.
It's a map. Oh, it's a heart. Okay. All right. And...
Oh,
dude, that's huge.
The play by RandomEffekt to continue digging for the item. I don't think he's seen the Triforce, so I think that's kind of just bad luck for cantaloupeme, but cantaloupeme did actively ditch. And that might have come down to that any key, with Random being able to explore any room he wants. That might be the play that puts Random in the lead now.
Yeah, I'm trying to see, like, as he backtracks here, kind of where that branched off from, because I think he took one of these vertically as far up as he could, maybe right here. I think he went straight up the G there, and he never explored that right side. And so luckily, when he starts backtracking and going back through levels and whatever, there's not many rooms that he can go back to, so it won't take him long. But you think about how many ladder blocks we've already seen, and what that means, because now he can go route in the white sword, and your combat speeds up that much more. That's kind of a big deal right now.
Yeah, and as soon as Random leaves here, I would not be surprised, Redbird, especially with how much combat we've seen in this seed, if he makes a beeline right for the coast.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, having Dark Nuts in there, having things that are sword-driven combat, you definitely want to go ahead and make that upgrade.
And of course, we do know that level 2 is ladder block. That is required. The good news is that the ladder happened to be kind of, sort of near start. I mean, it was kind of in a crazy spot, but... yeah, I mean, the only other good news is that if level 1 is bracelet block, there's not many options left for cantaloupeme in the general anyways.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. We haven't really seen Forgotten Spot. I mean, did he check those as we came through? I wasn't looking because I was watching randoms.
I think we did see them. I don't think there was anything of note there.
Right. All right, so having the 7 and 8 Triforce, 5. You don't have 1, 2, or 4, but those are the easiest ones. Given the items, I mean, what's going through your head if you're RandomEffekt right now, JSR?
I mean, regardless, you're going up against cantaloupeme and it's 43 minutes in and you still need 4 Triforces. I mean, your heart's going crazy and you're very nervous. I mean, it doesn't matter who you are. You're going up against one of the best Zelda runners of all time. You're nervous.
Yeah, and that's why even though he's kind of close to the west and he can do that world wrap, he's just going to go ahead and do Death Mountain. He's like, I'm good on Wood Sword. I've got the bow to help me give me the 2 points of damage. I'm not even going to route that in until I go look up here. We know how fast that 6 was, so it's actually going to be a decent play.
Yeah, to answer the question in chat, the heart that RandomEffekt picked up is the Dungeon Heart. Dungeon Hearts are not in the item shuffles, so that is a guaranteed drop in all 8 dungeons.
100%.
He is going to save, so I
Now
do think we're going to see a world wrap here.
I dig it. Yep. This is probably what I would have done just because I like having that white sword. But I expected him to clear, but maybe the decision there, JSR, he's on 1 bomb. So I think if he had a full pack there, if he was at 8, he would have kept going. But being on 1 bomb, he's like, I don't want to risk forcing, not get it, and then kind of be screwed up there.
He also does have his recorder, so he could very easily return to 8 and pick up where he left off, as he does get a lucky bomb drop off these moblins.
Yeah, good call there, too. Was there anything here in the east that he didn't finish? There was 2 levels that were by each other. No, 3 and 5 were it, right? So, yeah, he's going to up A, and he's going to, like you said, let's go finish 2. 2's right here. But we haven't seen much. I think this is probably going to be a Wizrobe dungeon. We were ladder blocked. I don't know what the rest of this was.
Yeah, we only saw a couple rooms, and we're going to find out very shortly. Cantaloupe does dive back into 7. He's going to do a pirouette. We have not seen the item here. If this ends up being the bracelet, this might not be over yet.
Yeah, because bracelet into level 1 or something. The problem is going to be that ladder is such a big deal for exploration inside dungeons too that even if he gets a different type of advantage here, the ladder could be enough that puts Random in the lead. That
the one thing that Cantaloupe does have is he does not have the Triforce. He does have to come in here regardless. So it'll be interesting to see how far he decides to dig it.
Right.
We saw Random make a conscious effort to dig it and finally gave up after a couple trips through. Let's see what happens with Cantaloupe because Random is flying through this too.
Yeah, he sure is. I mean, he's just looking for drop rooms right now. He's got the compass already, so he knows the room that's going to have the Triforce. He only has to clear drop rooms, which, 90% of them are anyway, but it does help a little bit.
Yeah, I don't believe we've seen the item in 2 yet either. The bracelet could very well be here, and that is the last thing that Cantaloupe wants.
So, I mean, he's going to need... Gosh, he's going to need this to be Wand or something. I mean, Wand's a good item, but not a progression item, so... That's like the only thing that it can be. Red Ring, maybe, but you don't even want your opponent to get that.
There's still a lot of items we have not seen yet. We do know that the silver arrows are still out there, the book, the wand, as you mentioned, and also the red ring, and I believe the red candle are the items we have not seen yet. I might be missing one.
Yeah, there was the wand on the floor, so same color on the tile. Luckily, the knob is just a little different color there, but RandomEffekt does pick up the wand. Doesn't help him too much. Combat a little bit because you got some Darknet combat and that type of thing, but it's not going to really help him progress anything. So that's probably the best thing Cantaloupe could have had in level 2.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're fans of having close races, that is the best case scenario. If you're a fan of RandomEffekt, he's still, I think, slightly ahead at this point. And is going to be making a beeline now for probably, I'm guessing, 6.
Yeah, I agree with you. Unknown to him where that is, but he's going to go... Oh, he's going to the east, so he's going to 5. Does he have some exploration here he hasn't done yet? Ah, level 4. That's right. 4 was by that. 4 had a ladder block, or maybe he just didn't have enough keys at the time.
Yeah, I like this play. Get it out of the way. You know it's here. You got to take care of it.
He does have the wrap, but like you said, he's got to do it. He's like, give me that 1 bomb. I want that 1 bomb.
Look at these dodges going on by Cantaloupe. He does take a hit. He can't take any more damage or he's going to die. And he's very deep in the 7. And he's going toe-to-toe. Oh.
That was really well done, though. That room is a disaster trying to fight a 4-headed Gleeok in because dodging is fine, except for when you put blocks every other space from you. It's very, very difficult, and you have to go in and do 3 or 4 hits on the subsequent heads there. Very difficult, and he's doing a really, really good job.
Yeah, I think in the excitement of watching Random's Overworld, we did miss the up A, so not nearly as costly a death as it appeared at first, but still very nice dodging. You see Cantaloupe bobbing and weaving through these blocks. Very difficult. Utilizing the heads of the Gleeok can also be a good strategy. The heads only do 1/8 heart damage, so if you're about to take a fireball pop, you can just faceplant into the head, and that will kind of give you a chance to escape.
Yeah, if you're kind of rolling the dice here, the heads will usually shoot the fireball. There's more likely a chance of the head shooting the fireball. And here's where you're seeing the select pause strats, JSR.
Brilliant.
But the heads have more of a chance than the body, so he's trying to stay as close to the body as possible so he can read the fireballs. And that was just really well done. Really great.
A masterclass of using the pause strats and bobbing and weaving there by cantaloupeme. A very beautiful Gleeok fight. Finds a staircase that he has not checked yet. I don't know if we've seen this yet. It is a transport.
Transport, yeah. Probably a segmented 7. We've seen a lot of segments here lately, so... and I think 8... No, 8 was all connected, so maybe 7 just has the 1. That's interesting. We might just have 3 total stairs, or either 3 or 5, but unfortunately that was just the one we're not looking for.
So if you're digging the 7, you don't have the map, you're out of bombs. Are you taking that staircase, or are you going to continue on?
Continuing on with the any key for as long as the level lets me go, and then I just note where it's at, and I'll come back to it.
Does look like Cantaloupeme's going to take these Lionels out. The blue Lionels do drop bombs. Sometimes. They're kind of stingy.
You're right. As you say that, they're like, nope, not today. Well, there's a key that we don't need. There have been billions of Gomas in this seed.
Yeah, when you have that early bow, man, I mean, if you know where the arrows are and you can afford them, I will never pass up the arrows. I don't care if I have candle or not. Like, I'm going to buy those arrows, man.
Yeah, in my Discord, I put it like, people are asking me, how do you attack seeds and stuff like that. And I put a list of the 5 things. The very first thing that I do is bombs for exploration. If I've already got those, the next purchase is arrows, like 100% of the time.
Of course, Cantaloupe did get the Triforce out of this dungeon and did see the item. Random is going to have to get the Triforce anyways, but he's going to be kind of disappointed. So, 7 Triforces down. You haven't seen level 1 yet, and I don't think Random has any Overworld left to find.
Yeah, so he knows he's going to need that power bracelet right now, so it's going to either be inside this level 6, which he doesn't know is the boomerang yet, or he's going to have to go back to a dungeon he's already visited. Which means 7, which means Cantaloupe's in the right place.
And meanwhile, we do have Crystal Saber deep in level 9, as Chad has pointed out.
It's always a 9. He's moving out of 9 to level 10, yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Tringle fine by Random, he is going to dig. He kind of knows he has to at this point. He's going to be sad to find out what it is, but, I mean, Cantaloupe has already felt its pain.
Yeah, it's a necessary play, though, for sure. You're at the point in the seed where you're like, all right, I just need the one thing. Please hook me up.
Very clutch health drops from these gorillas on Cantaloupe's side, down to 1/2 heart. And those gorillas are mean, man. The blue gorillas are one of the sneakiest, tough enemies in this game. You see them, they don't seem that difficult. But man, they just melt your health away like nothing.
Yeah, they're snipers for a reason. This is really unfortunate right here. You're going to see some pause strats here if he can escape this 3rd expansion. Oh, unfortunately,
so
not.
Close.
Yeah, that was very, very unfortunate on Cantaloupe's side because he was fine there until that guy moved to the left. Like, he kind of crouched and got around him as he's getting ready to expand again. There's nowhere he could have gone.
Yeah, there's 2 rooms I do not want to see Patras in, ever. And that's the diagonal block rooms and a room with turrets, man. I do not want to fight Patra in either one of those.
Turrets are bad because you're trying to make like little 1-tile moves to get around the turret fire, but you're also making the 1-tile moves to get around the expansions from the Patras. And a lot of time it's different tiles you're wanting to stand on and it just doesn't work out ever.
Both our runners digging deep in these very large levels 6s and 7s. I do want to remind everybody watching, this tournament is still going on. We have 1 more week of Swiss left. If you use the chat command Z1R 2022, you can see the current schedule, upcoming matches, and results of races. And don't forget to follow both of our runners tonight, Cantaloupeme and RandomEffekt. Very talented runners, very great guys. You cannot go wrong with following them, as Random does find his banana.
Yeah, he just saw it, and now he gets the Triforce. So a little longer inside of 6, so that's advantage Cantaloupe for just a little portion of this seed, but it's things like that that's going to have to happen a few times in a row on Random side for him to be able to catch up here.
So here we go, Random at a crossroads now. He's seen almost every item that he can at this point. He's going to continue digging the rest of Death Mountain. I guess he hasn't seen all of it yet, but assuming that level 1 is bracelet blocked, where do you think Random is going to go next, Redbird?
I think he's going to go to 7 because you're just an up A save away from there. So I think that's the natural play for him. I mean, you see the combat that Cantaloupe's dealing with in 7, and Random was dealing with it a little bit in there too. He remembers that, but where else can he go? He's got 2, he's got 3, he's got 4. He knows about 5 and 6, and he pulled both items out of 8. So, I mean, 7 is the only thing he has left.
Looks like Cantaloupe is going to decide to cut his losses and leave 7, which may or may not be the right decision yet. We don't know. Looks like he's digging for bombs, so maybe he's going to go back in.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to farm these guys for bombs, and it's probably the right play here. There's not much else. I mean, he can go back into 4 or whatever. He's got to get the ladder. Ladder's an 8. He's already got the Triforce at 8, so that's kind of a bummer. I mean, there's not a lot, unfortunately, soon that's going to happen for Cantaloupe that's going to help him out. So he's got to get through this 7, and hopefully the item is there fast for him, because there's a lot of backtracking he's got to do in the seed.
Cantaloupe did hit that fairy fountain. He's headed back to 7, which may or may not be the right call yet. We don't know.
I mean, if he does, like, let's say there's only 2 or 3 rooms left, right? And he gets the power bracelet right away, does the power bracelet checks, finds level 1. Now all of a sudden you've got the red ring. He routes in, getting the white sword with the ladder after 8, like, very quickly. I mean, he can accelerate and start going, but Random doesn't have much left to do either. So that's kind of his problem, right? He's up against somebody that doesn't have a lot of checks left. So it's how fast Random gets back through this 7 too, and that's the amount of time that Cantaloupe has to finish this.
Doesn't look like it's close. It looks like Random has a commanding lead. He does have a lead, but it's not as large as you think, especially if Cantaloupe is able to pull this item out and get out of here, especially if it's the power bracelet, because I don't think Random is seeing all of the items. I know he hasn't seen the one in 7. I don't think he saw both items in 8, did he?
Did he not see the heart? That's the one I'm not sure if he saw. He got the floor heart, but I'm not sure if he saw the other heart. I still think, though, between 7 and 8, if you've already got one item out of 8, you're going to go back and check 7 100% of the time, but it just depends on the exploration that you had.
It seemed like they're both really large. I don't think we've seen a map of either one yet, so it's hard to tell which one would be the right one to do based on size. Cantaloupe now taking another shot at this Patra, looking for some revenge.
Patra's being kind of nice and staying up near the north central, which means he can stand right above this statue and kind of control the fireballs. That's kind of his goal. Now we're hoping that he locked that Patra's expansion. It doesn't expand again. Looks like he did, JSR. He got the lock, which is really nice for this.
Oh, no. But he takes a bob down to 1/2 heart. He's got to be very careful here. Very nice dodging.
Yeah, he's just looking at fireballs.
He's just got to take him out and get out of this room. Can he do it?
Dude,
that was
unbelievable.
That was some excellent movement by Cantaloupe there to dodge those fireballs. Didn't even really use the pause strats, and now that Patra's gone, and now he can finally continue to dig. Now, of course, Random will have a little bit of an advantage when he reaches that room. He's got a potion, and he's got the white sword, but Cantaloupe, he doesn't need those, man. He's good. He doesn't even know there's potions in this game.
You know, the bummer there is that Cantaloupe just killed 6 Lionels, and those red Lionels give hearts like they're candy usually. And all 6 of them stiffed him on a heart, so he's still sitting on a half.
Yeah, I think he decided, nah, I'm good. I don't want to mess with that manhandler, and decides to leave. And now he's got these gorillas, and yeah, you're darned if you do and darned if you don't in this situation.
The nice thing is, if he dies here or he up-A's, he can't fight this Tongue Wood Sword. I mean, if he does this, JSR, I will quit Zelda forever.
Okay. It was a good try.
Right, he's human. That's good. He's human. That's all we needed to know. Oh my god. So, but the nice thing is, like we were talking about, is that Patra's gone. So all he has to do is walk through that room. Like, even if he comes, like, the Patra's gone.
Yeah, but unfortunately down on bombs, and he's going to try to get another pack of bombs to fight Manhandler here. And this is one of those kind of scenarios that makes your heart drop. You don't want what's going on his side right now. This is such a horrible feeling to have.
How they started, really the difference in this race is 1 item out of 1 dungeon. It's just the ladder. That's all it was. I mean, Random found it, Cantaloupe didn't. Otherwise, they did a lot of the exploration at the same time. doing the same things. They were following each other for the good majority of the race. It's random, and rando's going to rando sometimes, and just one room makes the difference in a race.
Again, Cantaloupe with a bomb chance gets nothing for his trouble. He's got one more bomb chance coming. Nope, never mind. He gets nothing again. He's going to manipulate his global counter here by killing some of these Armos, and then come on. Oh! No!
Okay, for the newbies out there, there's two counters going on. JSR correctly called out where his global was. He was due a bomb drop, but unfortunately the consecutive counter was on 10 on that kill, and that rupee drop overrides the bomb. That's rough.
And Random, of course, does still have 3 bombs, so if he can keep his count up, he should be able to get to that manhandler room. He's going to fight this Patcher now. Let's see how RandomEffekt does with 4 hearts.
4 hearts, but you know what? White Sword's going to help a little bit here, and so is Wand without the book, because now he's got magical sword power, and he got the lock right there, so he's going to be able to wipe out these little eyes a little bit faster than what you saw from Cantaloupe. So a little bit easier of a fight there.
Yeah, very fortunate. Both runners able to get the lock on Patra. Random, of course, uses select swap, so he doesn't have access to pause strats that Cantaloupe was using in that fight.
And now, knowing Rando being Rando, there's 5 more of these guys left. He's going to get a fairy and 2 hearts. Watch. Fairy. And 1 heart.
That's enough.
Close enough. I mean, that's like on average, that's what you're supposed to get from those guys. It was just Cantaloupe, unfortunately, did not get anything from them. They completely stiffed them on it.
This is the room that Cantaloupe died in that Random's in now. Let's see. Was Cantaloupe correct in assuming that this is the item? No! And that's why he was digging out those bombs, Redbird, so he's going to be very upset when he sees the results of all of that farming.
That's tough. I mean, he's got the bombs. He's going to go in there, and it's not going to take him long. This room just stinks, too, because you got these snipers here, and then you got fireballs coming from one way, boomerangs coming from the other. It's a room you don't want to see, especially on half a heart like he had.
And we not only find a dead end, but we still don't have a map in this question mark-shaped atrocity that is level 7.
Talked about this map. Like, you kind of wonder where in the heck it could be. It's not supposed to be behind a bomb wall, even like this high up in seed or in level, but we've done all the combat in every room up till now, so it almost has to be.
Now, Cantaloupe down to 1 bomb again. Let's see if he works a count here. Random has a little bit of an exploration advantage, but I mean, this is going to be interesting. It's probably going to be a bomb hole somewhere that nobody would see, and Cantaloupe went for something with a bomb. He's used his last bomb again.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, he's just looking at his own map and his mental and going, where have I not been? You know, where's the negative space that makes sense? And there's 2 columns to the left of him right now that he's like, well, this has to go up and left still, right? And unfortunately, it does not. Their maps look exactly the same, by the way. Exactly.
This level 7 is nasty, Redbird.
It is. But like you said, it's going to be a bomb that doesn't make sense. Like, you're traveling left, and all of a sudden, like, you start going up, and it's going to be like a bomb back to the right or something. And there's like, you can keep going up and left forever, but there's like 1 room back to the right. That's the type of bomb it's going to be.
RandomEffekt also uses his last bomb and decides to bail. It'll be interesting. He did save, and he's going to go refill his health. I am assuming he's going to use the up A here to be able to move. What do you think he's doing? Is he going to go for the other spots, or do you think maybe he's going to 8, or maybe is he going for that bomb upgrade?
It's a good call. I didn't even think about the bomb upgrade.
Well, never mind. He doesn't have any money. Never mind.
$7, so I don't know.
Never mind.
It'd be a little tough. I mean, you might try to slip him a something, but 7's gonna be tough.
Yeah, don't worry. I got credit cards, man.
Right? Yeah. I'll hook you up later. IOUs. Oh, what a seed, man.
Yeah, this is turning out to be brutal. These are 2 of the top runners, both in Randomizer and in Vanilla. And we're at hour 48. Neither has found level 1. Neither is in go mode. And Random's going back to 8, which he probably thinks is the right play. But this is going to be Cantaloupe's chance. If he can somehow find this item in 7, which I can almost guarantee you at this point is the power bracelet.
Yeah, and I guess chat was saying that there's a Gleeok that's kind of early on in a black room in here in 7 that neither one is killed. So that might be where their map is. So that might be a priority for him. And that's a good point. If you're in these flags and you're having problems finding something like that, don't just start looking for the item rooms. Look for rooms that can have your drop that can find your map, because it might be even faster to get you back to the item room.
Cantaloupeme again setting up for some farming. Gets a lucky bomb, finally, and he's headed back in. And now it'll be interesting. He's going to work a count as well. It'll be interesting to see if he goes for that Gleeok room or if he's going to be able to find that bomb hole somewhere.
We actually got 8, so he's good to go there. And I'm going to take like 2 seconds because they're kind of going through some of the similar stuff right now. And so there's questions about the globals and stuff like that. All you need to know about globals is when they programmed this game, they had to make drops look random. So they put all the enemies into 4 different groups. And on the counter, as long as the last number of your counter, so like from when you start the game until the very end of it, if you've killed 124 enemies, your counter's 4. 74 enemies, your counter's 4. So what they did is they said, okay, on these drops, on the last number of your kills, we're going to make it 1, 6, and 8 are bombs, 2, 4, and 5 are hearts, and it's going to make it look random to the runner, to the person going through the game. That's how they made it look that way, and still had everything categorized and what each kill was going to do for them.
So it's funny, we were talking about this earlier, Redbird, with the maps in the HUD, the submenu map. Neither runner had killed this Gleeok, so on their sub map, it's showing that as a solid wall, and there's a shutter door in that room. Plus, that could be the map.
Yep, that's exactly what you were talking about before.
And he does have 3 hearts, but he's not going for the Gleeok. And random with the bad news.
It's not hard if I'm random, because you know where magical is. That gets you to 10. That's your number. So yeah, it makes sense to grab that one. Like if you're going from 8 to 9, maybe not, or from 12 to 13, maybe not. But getting from 9 to 10 is kind of a big deal.
Yeah, I can't remember if we saw the magical sword. I'm sure somebody would let us know in chat if that was seen. I didn't see it.
I faintly remember it, but I couldn't tell you where.
Thank you, Joe.
Forest 100. So on the other side of the world from where they are, but Random's going to have to route over there eventually anyway when he does his power bracelet checks. So it's going to be important down the line, not exactly right now.
Random is headed back to level 7, and he's got a lot of health. He's got White Sword, and this is now his 3rd time, his 3rd trip into level 7, and I think that Gleeok is going down finally.
So I think you're 100% right. All right, so he's on 6. He's on a global 6 right there. Man, look at that. The map is even a crooked 7. It's... You see Cage-7, that's the map that they're looking at right now when they pause.
It's a cage, all right.
Oh, my lord. All right, here we go. He's like, oh, I haven't been here yet. Son of a biscuit.
And that's another time where that can really make your heart sink a bit. And there's our map, and that is disgusting.
Look how much they have not done. For all the time that they put into the 7, look how much they've not done in the Southeast. It's unreal.
It looks like a person's side profile wearing a baseball cap.
I like it. I dig that. Yeah, for sure. All right, so, and again, the good news for Random, and the same thing is going to be for Cantaloupe when he finally gets his map, is that he only has to look for rooms like this. Rooms that could possibly be item rooms.
Well, Chad did mention, and I didn't see if there was any alternative routes. And there might be a bomb hole that allows him to bypass it, but he does not have his ladder, and there was a ladder block directly after that Gleeok, and if that is indeed a ladder block, I mean, that could be a blessing and a curse for Cantaloupeme, because that'll at least funnel him back to get his ladder, but oh, that's going to be a huge advantage for RandomEffekt.
You know where it could push him back to also? 4. He never got the raft out of 4, and that's an easier dungeon than 8. So, I mean, he's got to get to 8 anyway eventually, and seeing all this stuff, he might be like, let me just go back to 4. Let me see what I forgot, because he saw 5 and 6. He saw the items in both those.
Yeah, I think you nailed it on the head. I think Random is going to make a play for Mags before he leaves this forest, especially if he marked it. Only a few rooms left, well, relatively speaking. I mean, this 7 is like, I've seen 9s this big.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, this tournament, for sure. I do like the new algorithm, though, with 9s being able to be a little smaller because they're all sharing a map. It used to be, guys, 1 through 8 kind of shared their whole thing or whatever. 7 and 8 was like the inverse of each other, and then 9 had its own map. Well, now 7, 8, and 9 kind of all share a grid. So 9 can be a little smaller, and 7 and 8 kind of expand a little bit.
And there it is, the bad news for cantaloupeme. He is ladder blocked. He will have the map at his disposal to find the rest of these bomb holes, but unless there's a bomb hole that they missed that has this item in a nook somewhere, he knows the bad news and he's going to have to leave. And you're right, it's either going to be 4 or 8, and if it was me, I'd probably go to 4.
I think everybody would. You can't fault him if he does. If he goes to 8, that's just good intuition from a very good runner. But man, it's tough. It's tough because we know like what's ahead of him just to get back to the position he was just in. Random using that potion. Wise use of the potion here because he's just so far. You don't want to use it in 7. Like this is potion for 9 for Ganon and whatnot, but it's also potion just for I'm so far in a level. It's going to take me 2.5 minutes to get back here. Let's not die right here.
I'm the worst at it, man. I'm the guy who finishes with max ethers in my pocket when I finish an RPG. I'm the worst at it.
I'm with you, dude. Dude, when I play RPGs, I collect a lot of items. I don't even know what they do, like softs and stuff and like grenades. I'm like, what are these for? What am I using this stuff for? Why did they even make it?
And Lomi's still exploring. There might be another path that allows him to bypass that ladder block, though he is out of bombs yet again, so we'll see.
So it's random here. I mean, this is interesting. He had to use a bomb wall somewhere. I mean, he hasn't done... There's probably 4 or 5 different places, but here is probably his item. Here's the power bracelet. Finally, he's thinking...
Random is in, like... I don't want to say go mode, because he's obviously not in go mode, but he's got everything he needs now, and he knows that level 1 is bracelet blocked, so he's going to start flying, and cantaloupeme, it's do or die time. He's got to leave and go get that ladder, and I just don't think he's going to, Redbird. This is unfortunate for him.
It is. I mean, his nose is in the right place. He knows that he needs the power bracelet for level 1, and he feels like it's 7 or 8. Like, he feels that, and so he's making the right play. Unfortunately, without that ladder, he can't complete the correct play. This is the level. He's right. Like, he needs the item from this room. So it's just unfortunate it's behind the ladder block.
I don't think we saw Random make a play for the magical sword. He might be feeling the heat at an hour 10 minutes into this race.
Oh, I definitely would, because that 7, I mean, it was a kind of a bad dig, but the problem was when you finally do it, it's stupid early Triforce. When you finally get that, though, and he's like, okay, that item was only 8 or 9 rooms from start. Yeah, that's a bummer. That is a bummer.
He does end up having to give up the heart, so I don't think we're going to see him return for the magical sword. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Oh my god, you get it back.
Yeah, take a little, give a little. It's like the penny tray you see at the gas station.
That's right. Oh, you're not supposed to just take from that?
Unfortunately, Random's still out of bombs, so he's got to potentially find a bomb hole here. We might see him just go for that Triforce. I mean, then again, I mean...
no chance, man. He's got to find silvers. And it's better here than 9.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. I probably would, too. I mean, there's got to be some way he can get bombs in here. Let's see.
One of these rooms is going to give him bombs. He's going to get the Triforce here just so he can refill and go back through. Because he's kind of at a crossroads on where the start of the level is. But yeah, he's going to stay around. Man, I feel so bad for Cantaloupe. I mean, Cantaloupe's doing the Lord's work right now, trying to get around. I mean,
little does he know he's making the right play.
Right.
He just made it in the wrong order.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Like, his nose is correct here, and it's the strength of both of these runners. He's doing the right thing. It's just, without that ladder, there's no way.
Of course, the seed has been kind of bomb hole heavy, and I don't know if that's a trend we're going to see continue in level 9.
Dude, he got there without the ladder.
Yes, he did. He found an alternate path, and this is his power bracelet now.
Please don't die. He has no arrows because he has no money. That's the issue.
Got $1 now.
And these snipers, man. He's going to pluck an orange. Okay, get the heart. Look at this resource management right here by Cantaloupe. All right, kill that guy. Do not stand in front of him. Don't stand in front of him. Stand to the side.
Staircase here for Random Effect. We have not seen either of the items here in one yet.
And rewarded with the fairy. And
now-
silver's the one. That's why you don't leave one.
We are at go mode for Random Effect at 1 hour, 13 minutes, and 12 seconds, and he is directly heading to level 9. And Redbird, level 9, I know some of the folks who have been following the tournament have probably heard this to death, but for those that are new to the tournament, what are we looking for here in level 9?
Yeah, so you're looking for the Roar of Ganon, which means that you're going to hear Ganon if he's one room, either north, south, east, or west of you. So as soon as you hear that roar, you know you're right around him. You're also going to be looking for a door that doesn't open once you've finished all the combat in the room, which that means that's Zelda's door. That won't pop until you've killed Ganon. So those two things are what we're looking for in 9. I want to say this, though, dude. Like, if you're watching this and you've been following this the whole way through, Cantaloupe proved me wrong twice. One, I was like, get out of 7, you gotta get that ladder and all that stuff. Oh, the combat's a little too difficult. One, he found a way around. He was correct. He went ahead and he got the power bracelet, which he needed to get anyway. He's gonna go to 1, which is the only dungeon that's left that's probably gonna have something good for him. Oh my god, it's gonna have silvers, which means it's gonna be easier to get back through 8, 4, 2, all those other things. So, unfortunately, it took him a while. It was a troll of a level to get there, but he was correct in his routing. That was the play to make. 7 was correct.
And we only did see one of the items in one. It was the silver arrows. Random did not find both. Of course, Cantaloupe in here with 0 bombs. As Random dips into level 9, and here we go. As LOZ Cards fan likes to say, is this going to be the great equalizer this time around for Random Effect?
Yeah, but the way his HUD kind of flashed there, Ganon's close, right? Yeah, I mean, anytime you see their HUD flash like that, Ganon's 1 room away.
And chat saying we heard a roar. I didn't hear the roar on entrance, but here we go. White Sword Ganon going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 8 strikes to take down the pig.
Yeah, as soon as I saw that HUD kind of flash, I knew he was right there. And he's an expert Ganon fighter, so this is not going to be an issue on White Sword.
All right, here we go. We're now looking for a shutter door, a single shutter door to open up with enemies in the room, and this race will be over.
Probably see this be a 6 or 7 column 9. It's not going to be a full 8 just because of how many columns we saw white on 7 and 8 before this. There we go. We got 7 columns and only 3 rooms on that far right 7th column, so really small 9 here.
It's not even gonna matter.
Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, get your GGs in chat for our winner at an official racetime.gg time of 1 hour, 15 minutes, and 49 seconds. Random Effect moves on to 4-1 in the tournament. Congratulations.
Yeah, just a beast of a runner. I mean, he's tough no matter how good the other person's doing. Cantaloupe got trolled like we saw in 7 quite a bit, but Random was just on top of his game today. Just had to flip-flop a couple levels there to have kind of a perfect run through. But a 115 on this seed, guys. This is a trolley seed with a lot of combat. You had a lot of Patras on Wood Sword and Fireball rooms and that type of thing. There's a lot of tricky combat there. Some four-headed Gleox in not-so-comfortable rooms and whatnot. So he just made this seed look way easier than it actually was.
And Lomi does decide to cut his losses. Of course, he didn't have the ladder yet. He knew the ladder was required and decides to bow out gracefully after a very valiant effort. Well-raced race by Cantaloupe.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a good dude. Good runner, good vanilla guy, and will kick your butt at rando if you go head-to-head with him. So these guys would probably split, 10 races. They'd probably go 5-5 against each other. Just unfortunate what happened to him in 7 today, but you saw he was right. I mean, at the end of the day, he was right about his call.
Yeah, look at that level 9. What was that? A 6-room level 9, I believe?
That's insane. Yeah, and what I was talking about before is that you see that in the vanilla game, right? When you're walking up north, not even like before you get to the stair that takes you to Ganon's, it's 2 stairs away, but you walk past Ganon's room and your HUD kind of flashes a little bit. That's kind of a tell too when you're walking through 9 and you see that happen on your screen. That means if you're playing on a console and not emulator or anything, that means that you're there. You're right at Ganon's door somewhere. So even if you don't hear it, if you see that HUD, that's kind of what happened and tipped me off on Random Effekt side.
Joining us now in the commentator booth is our winner of tonight's matchup, Random Effekt. GG's, sir. Before we ask anything, I want to know your thoughts on this seed. How are you feeling as you went through that level 7 at about an hour and 10 minutes into this?
Didn't feel great. I'm looking at my splits, and I had four Triforces at almost 45 minutes in. Like at 45 minutes in, I had 4. That feels bad. That feels real bad. I thought I was behind for a lot of it, especially with like how many times I went into 7 and 8. That didn't feel very good. It was a tough combat seed. I think a lot of the power bosses in the dungeons really made it difficult to sort of progress through, and not having a map anywhere. Like how many maps did I actually find in the entire game? Like maybe like 3, and then the book, of course, had to be a 9. So it is what it is.
And of course, that early ladder that you got out of level 8 did prove to be a humongous difference in the race, with you getting, of course, through level 2 and then getting the white sword in a very combat-heavy seed. But cantaloupeme did find a path in 7 to the bracelet that did not require the ladder, as cantaloupeme does join us in the booth. GG's, sir. How are you feeling?
Thank you. GG, Random.
GG. That was a tough one. That was kind of crappy.
Yeah. I went on tilt just a bit there. I was determined whether I lost at this point or not, I'm going to get that item in 7. That's just how bad I was. I kept dying, running out of bombs, couldn't get any bomb drops. I was like, I'm just going for 7, and if I lose the race cause of it, I want this item.
Well, you made the right decision, and just there was a lot going on in that seed, and 38 bombs didn't help either.
Yeah, a lot of bomb trouble there in that 7, but I will say everybody was impressed with your combat, especially against that Patra. You were on point, sir, when it came to your execution.
I'm not sure who are you talking to? Fat?
That was for Cantaloupe. I mean, both of you guys were
okay.
on point for combat, but Cantaloupe did that guy. You had the wand and white sword at the time. He had to go through that with just wood sword, and he took down that Patra room very impressively.
Yeah, once I got the ladder, I beelined it for that white sword because I saw all the nasty combat. Having that double offense really did help, but still being on green tunic really didn't. And like I said, a lot of those rooms were strange combat rooms. A lot of fireball rooms with Patras, fireball rooms with Lionels and Guerilla, who just sort of ping you down little by little. 7 was basically what vanilla level 7 feels like, where you're going through so much pain just to get the item in there and get through it. It felt very similar in the vanilla game.
Yeah, and then you go to level 9, and it's 6 rooms.
Feels great.
Yeah, I heard Ganon when I first went in 9. I was like, okay, 9 may not be that bad. And I was like, I just got to get there. And 8, I just totally orphaned after I got one item. I was like, well, there's a lot of stuff we haven't seen yet, so I'm just going to bail on 8. And of course, that was the beginning of the end, apparently, because that's where the ladder was, and I was gambling on being in somewhere else.
Yeah, I did feel good about getting the ladder as quote-unquote early as I did, because I did it on my first dip of 8, and I felt pretty good at that point, but yeah, I went back into 7 like 4 times. I went into 8 2 times. I went into 2 times. I went into 4 2 times because I got the item and then saw where the Triforce room was. I was like, nope, I'm not doing that right now. I'll come back to that at some other point when I have a little bit more hearts. All I needed was more hearts. I think I found 4 and went through it at like 4 or 5 hearts, and I was like, nah, that's coming in the left side with a blue Landmola is never fun.
It was a fantastic race, and I do want to let everyone watching this race, don't go anywhere, folks, because coming up right after we leave this booth on this very channel, Ice Blue versus Fury SK, a matchup of undefeated runners in this tournament, 4-0s, and that's going to be just as exciting as this matchup, so do not leave right here. Gentlemen, it was a fantastic race this evening, and I hate to cut the interview short because we do have to give the floor over to them. But I wish you both the best of luck going forward. It was a great run, and GG on both of you. That was so much fun to watch.
Yeah, thanks for the commentary. I'm sure both of us are going to get some pretty good seating going into the brackets. So not worried, and yeah, looking forward to the rest. One more week, and then bracket time.
Yep.
Sick. Looking forward to it. Thank you.
Yeah, JSR, it was a great matchup. We saw some great combat like we thought we would. Unfortunately, just a little bit of a trolley 7 just to play off the meme a little bit there. But yeah, it just one wrong turn in the level, getting that ladder out of 8 was the difference maker, I think. And it was a lot of fun, man. I appreciate sharing the booth with you, and this was fun, man. We got to do this more often.
Absolutely, man. It was a ton of fun getting the team back together, man. That was a good match to call too. Thank you so much for joining me. And again, yeah, I mean, Rando is Rando. What can you do? I mean, neither runner did anything wrong. They got randoed. It happens. Best of luck to both Cantaloupeme and Random going forward in week 6, the final week of Swiss. Don't go anywhere, folks. I'm going to head on out, and you are going to not want to leave. I'm not leaving. I don't know about you, Redbird, but I'm staying right here for this match.
Right here, dude.
Thanks a lot, everybody. Stay tuned. Coming at you with more Zelda 1 randomizer action in just a few short minutes. We'll be right back.